So yes, Jagex did it again. A new tradable rare has come to the new Halloween event, a purple Halloween mask. How innovative. Now, the hype train is starting all over again for people, but should it? I saw countless people either in my comments or tons of people making videos about how these rares are just a great investment, how they'd be billions of GP in a year. Well, previously that didn't really happen. Now I want to clarify here, it's only been a year, so in 3, 4, 5 years I could maybe be proven wrong, as rares can take maybe a while to go up in price, but in the short term or mid-term, the new rares being released just aren't doing too hot. For example, back 10 months ago at the end of 2021, I got the golden party hat pretty early and I sold it for 1 billion GP. This was done in a video and I got so many comments. For instance, one comment said, the value of old party hats was super low when they were released in 2001. I'm sure somebody would be glad to buy them up for cheap if they drop and then drive the market up. Another person said, why would you sell it? Another person said, got 4 of them already, buy them up, boys. Someone else said, it's almost guaranteed to skyrocket after the event is over. Well, if we take a look at the golden party hat, we can see it started off, of course, insanely high because of all the hype from the event, which is to be expected. Then the day the event ended, it actually went up a little bit to about 500 mil, not a huge increase, probably because people were like, oh my god, the event's over, I better buy one now, I'll never have this chance again. Then almost 10 months later, we're looking at a golden party hat selling for 180 mil, essentially dropped by more than like 60-70% since the event started, and even more since the peak. Will the golden party hat not someday become billions of gold? I'm not sure. I mean, it could become worth a lot in 2027. It really could, but that's 5 years from now, and we don't actually know how many are in the game. But as a short-term investment, if you want to call waiting a year a short-term investment, I guess, it definitely has flopped. I mean, if you bought these for like a bill back then, or even 500 mil, most people, almost everyone that bought these and held them has lost some sort of money. That doesn't mean they don't go up in 3 or 4 years, but 3 to 4 years is a long time. I mean, 3 to 4 years ago, I wasn't making videos, I had just started college, I was in a totally different place. Who's to say RuneScape is still vibing like it is now, RuneScape 3, 4 years from now? We just don't know. But wait, the green Santa hat, that's going to be different, right? I saw it. That is going to be the new huge boom. Since it's from Treasure Hunter and it's more rare, it's going to be a way more solid investment. Well, when the green Santa hat was released, it was so rare, it was selling for almost max cash. Then it dipped to about 900 mil or so, then a little bit later around 550 to 600 mil. It did spike a little bit by about 25 mil for like a few days, and now it's sitting at about 495 mil 10 months later. So while this isn't as steep of a crash as a golden party hat, the green Santa hat did not make anyone billions of GP in almost a year. If you bought it for like 800 mil, 700 mil, or even max cash at the start of the event, you would have lost a ton of gold. Again, will the green Santa hat be worth billions in 5 years? It very well could be, but did it make anyone rich buying it and holding it for almost a year? Probably not, unless you were like flipping them or something like that. So now this brings us to current day, the purple Halloween mask. This is obtained again from Jagex, from Treasure Hunter during the Halloween event. Now the odds are Jagex wants to sell as many keys as possible, and I'm sure they're going to make an absolute killing during this promo, which is why they continue to do them. But the question is, should you go in and buy a purple Halloween mask on release in hopes to hold it for a year and make billions? Well, judging by the history of these items, you probably shouldn't. Here's the thing, I think people often overlook back when rares were released, most of us were like 8 years old. We literally had no clue about the game. We weren't thinking about the economy and investment. Most of us were just vibing as 8-year-olds and going to like first grade. No one knew what a rare was. We probably said, oh cool, a hat, and then sold it to the general store by accident or traded it to our friend for a rune scimitar. Even when the black Santa hat was released, the hype was far less than it was for something like the golden party hat or green Santa hat. It's like anything, Jagex has made the new tradable rares sort of like mainstream. They're hyping them up constantly. They're posting them all over social media. They're making them into these huge events that everyone feels like they need to do or they're going to miss out. Feel like you need to farm keys, buy bonds to get keys to try to get this rare. This definitely was not the concept back when original rares were released, and this wasn't even the concept back when they added the Black Santa hat. Although I'm sure the concept was similar for the Black Santa hat, the hype was definitely not like it's been for the Golden Party hat or the Green Santa hat. Jagex literally plastered all over so you know you can get a new rare and pay money to try to get it. So many people are in on trying to get these that they almost certainly aren't the same rarity in terms of quantity as something like the Black Santa hat, and of course not even close to what the original rares were. So do yourself a favor. If you're considering buying a purple Halloween mask during this event, odds are it's gonna go down in a year. Is this guaranteed? No, I can't guarantee anything. I'm not trying to stop you from doing what you want to do, but just look at the past items I showed. If you want to get this as an investment, it's probably not right to buy it at its peak at the release. I mean, that goes for basically anything. That goes for PVM items. When a new boss is released, PVM items are insanely expensive. Like, I think I sold a Chaos investment for like 2 bill and now they're like 100 mil. So this kind of works for everything, and it's not just for the rares. Now, I haven't even bought a green Santa hat or a golden party hat yet again. Will I? I probably will eventually, but they're still dropping, and I don't think they're gonna magically skyrocket up to 5 bill within a month. Now, if you're somebody who just has a ton of FOMO and doesn't want to miss out and you have the money to burn, then do what makes you happy. If you want to buy this for a lot of money and wear it around because you like it, that's totally fine. But if you're planning to drop max cash on this mask as an investment on release, you're probably better off just waiting at least a little bit and buying it later. Now, of course, like I said, this isn't guaranteed, but I'm just looking back at what we had with the green Santa hat and the golden party hat. I mean, I just had so many people telling me the golden party hat was an investment of a lifetime, and the 1 bill I sold it for would be an absolute robbery, and how much I regret that later. Well, now I can buy almost 6 golden party hats with that money, so I'm not really that upset about it. I heard the same thing, but different with the green Santa hat. This one is gonna be different. Now, the golden party hat isn't the investment, but the green Santa hat is what you want to look for. This is going to be huge. You're going to make billions. And, well, you haven't lost as much money if you've held onto the green Santa hat for almost a year. You've still probably lost a little bit, or definitely haven't really made much. So should you freak out and go buy the mask on release? You probably shouldn't. If you're feeling that fear of missing out that Jagex has crafted or even monetized, weaponized to get you to buy keys, to get you hype, to make more money essentially, just remember that you'll probably have another opportunity to buy these later if you want. So don't freak out. Don't feel like you just have to go spend all your money on keys to trying to get these, because odds are they're going to be insanely rare, and the odds are you're not going to get them. During the Christmas event for the green Santa hat, I actually spent a lot of bonds, a lot of basically all my oddments. I went on other accounts to basically get the free oddments and spin keys, and I essentially spun a ton of keys that way, and I did not get a green Santa hat at all. I had a friend who's an Iron Man who basically spent the entire month or whatever it was hardcore skilling AFK every day, constantly, like 12 hours a day, to get the little magic paper to try to get the Santa hat, and didn't even get anything at all to show for it. So if you're somebody who is debating on, buying these keys, do what makes you happy, but just know the odds are you probably aren't going to get that Halloween mask. And if you're planning on trying to buy it for max cash on release, you might lose money if you do that. But if it makes you happy, just do what makes you happy. A bit of a ramble, but I thought it was fun to talk about. Now, if you want to go back and look at the market crashing before when we had these rare released, I actually made a video on that. You can check that out right here. It's kind of interesting to see how the golden party hat had an effect on the economy, and hopefully this doesn't cause the same effect.